Hello everyone. I wanted to come on here and tell you about my bunny. This is Vanellope. She is a Holland Lop and she is quite literally the sweetest bunny you will ever meet. So I wanted to tell this story because she's a little miracle. Look at her, she's so sweet. I got her couple years ago. I won't tell how old you are. I got her from a little girl in Nebraska that was raising bunnies for 4-H. And so she like hand held them and they were like the sweetest little bunnies. So when I first got her, I was like, oh my gosh. And everybody just fell in love with her. And she's literally like just the sweetest. Like you can like hold her like a baby. I mean, she just loves to get a little massage. She adores pets. She's like the perfect cuddle bunny. And if you're an animal lover or you've ever had other rabbits, they do not all have the same personality. And she's definitely not one of those hyper ones or ones that like wants to move around a lot. You gotta just see her. Oh my gosh, she's just so sweet. So she can like come inside and sit down on the floor and she's just chill. She'll find her little corner or she wants to be comfy and she just sits. Doesn't want to play. She's a cuddler. That's what she is. She's the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, you just want to eat her out. And but I got her, I want to say like 6 months to a year after I got her. So she was young when I got her, but then I noticed one evening that she had a head tilt, like her head was tilted to the side, and that she's walking funny. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I'm like, this is not right. So I got a little box for her and I set her next to my bed and I was like gonna keep an eye on her, and then I'm like, I'm gonna take her to the vet in the morning, right? So early before work I get up and I take her to the vet. And of course I had Googled like a bazillion things the night before. And I had noticed, so I'm looking this up on Google, right? I'm Googling, what's going on with this bunny. And you notice that it's the head tilt. And there's a specific name they call it. I don't know what the specific name is. And it's caused by a parasite in the brain. That's what it's caused by. And so I knew this prior to going into the vet, right? I knew that it was a parasite and I knew that, but I didn't know what they were going to tell me exactly. So I go into this office, this vet's place that's not that far from here, and she examines the bunny and probably, I don't know, like checks her heart rate, or I don't know. I mean, you can obviously see the head tilt on her, and basically proceeds to tell me that there's nothing that they can do, like it's terminal and there's nothing that I can do. Basically says, this is what it is, the head tilt, whatever, and it's caused by a parasite. She like literally wrote it down on a piece of paper. This is what it's caused by, and it's in the brain. And supposedly they couldn't treat this, right? So she says this to me, which I already knew because I already looked it up, right? And I'm like, okay. And then, I'm like tearing up and I'm like, so there's nothing you should do? And she's like, well, I can give you an antibiotic. I'm not a doctor. I'm not, some brilliant scientist. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not going to claim to know a lot, I'm just a person that has pets. I like bunnies, whatever. I like animals. So she's telling me that it's a parasite, right? Wrote the name of the parasite down. And then she proceeds to tell me that I can give you an antibiotic. And then immediately after this tells me that, but I've never seen it work in 12 years. Would you like to try it? And she's saying this with a straight face. I guess she just wants to hand me something to not make me cry because I'm tearing up or whatever. And I'm like, well, how much is this antibiotic? Kind of like, why are you even offering it to me if it doesn't work? And she goes, it's $40. And I'm like, paused for a minute, like my brain's trying to like wrap my mind around what she's saying, because it's not logically making any sense, because it doesn't make any sense. So she's like, I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you for your time. And and I take my bunny in my box, and I leave. And I immediately go to the local farmers market, where I can get a paste that everyone knows the name of, but I won't say the name of. That sounds a lot like ivermectin, like ivermectin, yeah. And so this horse paste, basically, that's obviously not for a tiny little bunny. And I thought, she's already condemned my bunny to death. She's basically said, your bunny's gonna die because it won't be able to eat, won't be able to lift its head to eat, and it basically will just waste away and die. And didn't offer me anything. My logical thinking, silly me, was like, if you know it's a parasite, why wouldn't you try an anti-parasite? An anti-parasitic. I mean, I'm not genius, but that makes a little more logical sense. If an antibiotic hasn't worked in 12 years, I don't know, test something else out, What? So I go down to the local market, get this paste, do this thing called math, and give it to my bunny. And I was a little concerned that my bunny wouldn't take it. I'm thinking, it's probably bitter tasting. She's probably not going to taste it and not like it. But I put it a little, I'm talking about like a half a pea size on, probably less than a half a pea size, on a knife, like a butter knife, and she just licked it right off. And no problem. So the way parasites, kicking my camera there, the way parasites operate in the body is that, you can take a dose of whatever parasitic, and look at you, and they're gone within a few days, but potentially they have eggs and inside of you, and they could cause more, right? So you have to take it for 30 days in order for them to be gone, right? So I give her this for 30 days, and guess what? She's alive and well, and this was years ago now, and she's doing just great. She's got a buddy now. And so, I don't know, I'm just thinking that, maybe some vets possibly weren't taught right, or I don't know. If this story does anything, like, I hope it gives someone that might have a head drop bunny a little hope that it's not the end. And I've even heard that even if you give it to them, that sometimes, because it affects their nerves, the parasite is affecting the nerve in them, and so they could still potentially have the effect of the parasite, but the parasites you can get rid of still. So this paste can come in a paste form, a liquid form. Humans can get it in capsules. This terrible horse paste that was like worldwide, nationally, boo-hooed, saved my bunny, Penelope, and I'm glad. So I just want to give somebody hope that maybe have a bunny, and maybe it's a different animal. Maybe there's a different animal that's affecting, this parasite could be affecting, and you're talking about a $10 product that will probably last multiple times over many, many years, Easy, quick fix. Um, you know, and somehow the vet was just like, it's in the brain, you can't fix it. Vanellope here is proof that you can fix it. Isn't she the cutest thing ever? Oh my gosh, she's just so cute. Yes, you are. Bye, everybody.